What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's your favorite it's your favorite girl in the world, Ada Uju Nwaboke. Guys, I put up a question on Facebook and you people overwhelmed me. Like when I saw it, I'm like people that have issues with cutting, you people are plenty, and I really understand. Like, we've all been there, including this young lady, this beautiful young lady sitting in front of you. I have once been there. Like, there are times I had serious phobia cutting clothes and I didn't just know how to start. So if you want to get over the phobia of cutting your clothes or the phobia of ruining the clothes after cutting it and when you're sewing it, just keep watching. But hey, if you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you subscribe to this channel by clicking on the subscribe button and the notification bell so that whenever I post a video, you'll get notified. Now let's just go into the whole juice. The first approach I'm going to give you here is the African mothers approach. You know how African mothers, how they are. If you're not an African person watching this video, I'm going to tell you, whenever you come back from class or come back from school with your report card, with your results, and somebody else maybe came first and you came second, what will your African mom tell you? That person that came first, does she have two heads? Does she have two heads? This is what I'm going to tell you. Ada Uju, who's dishing out sewing tutorials to you, she doesn't have two heads. Neither does the top designer or that person you're looking at dishing out fine styles. She doesn't have two heads. So the first thing I want you to know is, tell yourself, I can do this. You've seen a very gorgeous star. It looks like they generated the style from Jupiter. Forget about that. Tell yourself, I can do this. Take away that insufficiency, that inadequacy in your system. Tell yourself, I can cut this fabric, I can sew it. Yes, I'm just starting up with sewing and I don't really know my way around fabric, but I can sew it and I can do this. With a positive mindset, you're already on the go to successfully cut a dress and sew a dress and get over the phobia of cutting. Tell yourself, I can do it. It's that simple. That was one thing that really helped me. If I see a star, I tell myself, piece of cake, I can do it. Like that was what I just kept telling myself when I was a beginner. I can do it, and here I am today. Now the second thing you must do as a beginner or someone who is having issues with cutting a dress or phobia with cutting and reading a fabric is, don't ever cut in front of a professional. I know you'll be like, if I don't cut in front of a professional, how am I going to learn how to cut? Now this is a trick. For example, I have my tricks and the way I maneuver my fabrics when I want to cut, and this is because I've been cutting for a really long time. So there are some risks I would take, there are some foldings I would do that I know that in the long run it will still turn out well. Now I'm a professional, you are a beginner. You don't want to cut in front of me because when you are still taking your baby steps, trying to be safe, I tell you, I might be a little harsh and tell you, oh, no, don't do it like that, oh, no, don't do it like this. So I keep saying, don't do it like this, don't do it like this, and it unsettles you. Sometimes, especially if you are an apprentice or you are in a fashion school, sometimes your tutor might not be very patient. Your tutor might not be very patient to actually walk you through the process. They might just be like, do it like this, or don't spoil it, or don't do this, or don't do that, and it just puts a lot of fear in you. So after you've told yourself, I can do this, the next thing you should do is never cut in front of a professional. Always cut at home or cut when you're alone. Gather confidence as you cut alone. The more you cut alone, you gather enough confidence to be able to cut in front of a professional, in front of anybody. It's like you not knowing how to solve a particular mathematics equation and they just call you in front of class to solve. As you are solving, people just say, no, don't do it like this, no, don't do it like that. But if you've studied that thing at home, you've gone over it over and over again, when you come in front of the class, you just keep doing it. And even if somebody says, oh no, you made a mistake here, you try to explain to the person why you're taking this process or why you're skipping this step and you're not following his own step because you have your own way. But if you've not done your homework at home, like you've not practiced in seclusion, like you've not practiced on your own and you're cutting in front of a professional, you always have issues. So if you're having phobia with cutting, whether you have a madam, a tutor, whoever is teaching you how to cut, make sure you take notes as they're teaching you how to cut. If you want to take videos, go back home and do your cutting, where nobody will always be asking you questions and say, what are you doing? What are you doing? No. Take your time, do it in silence, do it in seclusion, and you would learn from there. Okay, don't cut in front of a professional and tell yourself, I can do it. We're going over to the next step. The next step now is, like I always say in all of my beginner friendly videos, is envision. Sewing is about photocopying. Like, the way you see it is the way it has been cut. Like, the way you've seen it on this person. For example, you want to cut a flared dress, and probably your mind has told you, this might be how they cut this dress. Just try it out that way. If it doesn't turn out that way, try it out the next way your mind is telling you. Let me tell you, with sewing, by the time you do trial and error, you will get to it. So one thing that always helped me with cutting was I kept envisioning, how did they cut this? By the time you sit down and really think, you will somehow figure out how that dress was cut. Do you understand? So in sewing, you don't just have to sit down to be spoon-fed. No, you can ask basic questions like, or you can learn basic tricks. How to cut a basic flare, how to cut a basic this, how to cut a basic that. You can learn all those basics. But when you get to the advanced, and you can't really sit down to envision or ask yourself, how was this done? How was that done? Your journey to learning how to cut independently would not be successful. So one thing you should always do as a beginner is, whenever you see a style, don't just get blown away like, how did they cut this style? No. What you should sit down and do is try to analyze the style individually. I'm going to leave a link to a particular video where I think in that video I talked about what to do when you can't sew a style. Check the description box. I'm going to leave a link to that video. It's going to really help you. Now, after you've envisioned how the style was cut and you sort of have an idea, the next thing you should move over to doing, after envisioning, don't even think 2 times. The next thing you should go over to doing is practice. And now you are not going to first of all start practicing with fabrics. No, don't do that. Get newspapers, get brown paper, pattern paper, whatever it is. Practice. You can start with small portions. Don't start with like really large portions. Like me, if you've been following me for a long time here, I'm running my MSc program. So I have a lot of like materials that were given to us in class. So sometimes if I want to practice a style, like a really small style, I'm going to cut it out in an A4 paper. That's how funny I can be sometimes. Like, I'm going to try and map it out on an A4 paper, use my small scissors to draft it out, the blouse, the skirt, even if it's going to be a gown, whatever it is. So you get your paper, your newspaper, your brown paper, then you practice. Like, practice, my dear, practice. Even if you are going to be wasting the papers, practice. And this really helped me. Like, I wasn't that sewing student that they spoon-fed mouth to mouth. No, I practiced 80% of everything I learned by myself. I practice 80% of what I learned by myself. So when I go to the shop and I see them doing this thing or doing that thing, I just get back home, get newspaper and start cutting. Like, then the dustbin was always filled with lots of papers. Now when you practice with your paper and somehow you feel okay, you've gotten to a level in this style where you can attempt with a fabric, don't just run over and start cutting with a very expensive fabric. One thing I'll tell you is get a really cheap fabric. And when I say really cheap fabric, there are some fabrics that go for 800 for 3 yards. There are even some that go that are cheaper than that. So get a really cheap fabric. Now when you get a really cheap fabric, there are things you must have at the back of your mind when you want to cut a fabric. The first thing you must do is make sure the fabric is smoothing out. We all know when it comes to basic cutting, drafting of bodies and cutting, your fabric is folded into 4. Now make sure as you are folding that fabric into 2 first, before you go over to folding it into 4, make sure it is smoothed out. If the fabric is rumpled, make sure you iron it. Okay, make sure you iron it, because these little bumps and pops here and there causes mistakes and you just end up ruining the whole cutting process. So make sure it's smoothed out. Now when you've made sure it's smoothed out, the next thing you should do is make sure the hem is equal. Like, make sure your working piece is equal on all sides. So if you know, sometimes when they cut fabrics for you in the market, some sides are curvy, some sides are straight. So make sure if you're having 10 as your working, as in 10 inches as your working piece, make sure all through the fabric is 10 inches as your working piece. Now when you are, and you can just do that. If it's not 10 inches, you have excess, you can just, you know, chip it out with your scissors, and you have a perfect working piece. Now it's smoothened out, is equal on all sides. The next thing you do is just put in your measurement, like draft your neckline, your shoulder line, your bust, your armhole, your hips, whatever you're putting in there, draft it there. Now, one thing I always do, even if I want to classify myself as a semi-pro, okay, I always double check my measurement. Now, if you're learning how to cut, learning how to sew, after you've gone through this whole process, make sure you double check on your measurements. Even if it seems right to you, make sure you have your zip allowance, make sure you have enough fabric for your dart, make sure you have enough fabric for your dart. Make sure your armhole point is the right place. Just make sure all your measurements are on point. Now when you are done drafting out your measurements, you verify this thing about twice, then you go ahead to cut. One thing I always tell people is cutting is very simple, sewing is very simple, only if you put your mind to it. Now after you've drafted out your measurement, you've cut, the next thing you should do is practice. The whole process of everything I've told you, make sure you don't cut in front of a professional. Tell yourself you can do it, okay? Whatever style you've seen, try to envision how it was cut. Practice with your paper. Make sure you get a lot of paper, like invest in pattern papers and newspapers. Cut with your papers for as long as possible before you go ahead to try it with a cheap fabric, then an expensive fabric. Then you also have to sew that dress. You can't just keep cutting and keeping. You sew the dress, check out where you made mistakes, try again, and keep doing it. That is just it. Just keep doing it. You don't know when you get better. Last week I was making a skirt for a client. Most of the time I don't like sewing and I don't like the client like sitting in front of me when I'm sewing. But I was busy. She had to use the skirt really urgently, and I just had to let her stay in my sewing space. So while I was sewing, she was like, "Oh, Ada, your sewing is so neat. Your sewing is so neat." I'm like, I'm a long way from where I was. She was like, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, when I started sewing, my sewing, if you turn the back of the clothes, it will look like Oshodi Market." But I decided that I was going to make my sewing as neat as possible. So I just kept practicing neat sewing till I got to where I am today. So when it comes to cutting, you don't just get it once. That is one thing you have to know. You don't just get it once. It's something you have to keep practicing and practicing and practicing. Okay, now if some of the people on Facebook, by the way, if you're not following me on Facebook, like why can't you just join the community on Facebook? Follow me on Facebook at Stitchadress, and also follow me on Instagram at Stitchadress. Back to what I was saying. One of my followers on Facebook said that she has issues with cutting. She also has issues with choosing a style. And this thing happens to everybody, including me. So one way I always take care of that is whenever I see a fine style on the internet, I just take a screenshot of it and keep it somewhere in my gallery. Also Pinterest, I have like a board on Pinterest where I pin projects to try. So these things just spark my creativity. So even when I have a fabric, I don't really have an idea what to cut or what to sew, I just go to that folder in my gallery where I have a lot of pictures of styles I want to try out. Or I go to Pinterest where I've saved a lot of styles, and I just pick something from one of those ones that I have saved. Or if I don't even have any style at the moment, I just search on Instagram, I search on Pinterest, and also for my gallery as well. So if you also have the issue of not knowing what to cut, or not knowing what style to cut or what to sew, make sure you have an Instagram account, make sure you have a Pinterest account, and when you see a style, just save it or pin it. Okay, now I hope this video has been able to clear your mind and also walk you through the initial process of getting over the phobia of cutting a fabric and also ruining a fabric as a beginner. If you enjoyed this video, please give this video a big thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to this channel, what are you waiting for? Join the family by hitting the subscribe button. It's absolutely free, and the notification bell so that whenever I post a video you will get notified. Please, I want to get to 50,000 subscribers this year, and I really need your help. So please subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so that whenever I post a video you get notified. Now I'll see you soon. I'll see you soon. Don't miss my fine face. Don't. I'll see you soon. Bye. Watch my other videos. Okay, watch the other videos. Bye.